Woo! Y'all, that's incredible worship. I just get fired up, especially a couple together. That's sweet. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving and ate a lot of turkey and all that good stuff. It's good to be back and talk about some fun, exciting relationship things. And I am very passionate about this specific topic because high school and junior high was a wreck, because it was just reckless when you love without understanding or anything like that. So it's such a sweet gift to talk about what I get to talk about right now. But first I want to start with a story. I have a pup named Slapper. Some of y'all might know Slapper. She is nay, and she is just so high energy. I mean, her breed is to be a working dog. She's a blue heeler, and we have her in an apartment. Me and James have this small apartment together. It's great. You can pivot and be in each room. So you have this dog that's just going crazy. And so what we've learned is we have to get her a lot of toys in each room because she chews on absolutely everything, especially James' socks, which are some of y'all's, the size of y'all's sleeping bag, I'm sure. His socks are huge, size 18 foot, big man. Yeah, no size 16, sorry. But so Slapper, she just chews on everything. And what she does, I just would see slowly, she would just go through the house and grab toys, play with it for a little bit, and then go to the next toy, and she would drop that until she sees a cooler toy. And it's just so entertaining to watch her just go through the house, chewing on different toys. She just can't make up her mind. And it dawned on me, that's how our culture treats dating, is you hold on to something until something better comes along. I was like, wow, Slapper, you just brought revelation in my life right there. It was just crazy. She literally would just grab a toy and she'd play with it, and she's like, nope, there's another cool one. And when I bring her a new toy, everything else fades. She is so focused on this new toy. But so I say all that to say, I was like, wow, that is really how our culture all around views relationships. I'm going to be with you until you no longer give me what I want, and then I'm going to go on to something next. And the commitment's blurry, it's weird, because really you are only in the relationship for what this person can give you. And that is such a broken way to deal with relationships. So I want to talk about today is dating, being single, and love. And I want to ask a question first. Who here believes in love at first sight? I asked it on Instagram a couple days ago. Don't be shy, you can show hands. Who here believes in love at first sight? Oh, one person. Cole, my boy Cole, yes. No one believes? Oh, right here too, okay. So just a couple people. I'm sure some of y'all are just not raising your hands. Some of y'all who are dating too, you feel like I kind of want to. James, you better raise your hand right there. That's okay. Is love at first sight for you? No, I'm not going to answer that, but I just want to see a show of hands who here really believes in love at first sight, because movies and songs, it's all about, oh, if they look good, that's love at first sight. I was hooked at the moment you came in, the door. It's just you hear all of these things. So I was interested to see not many people believe in love at first sight. Wow. But I wanted to define dating, and I figured Wikipedia would be great for that. Yes, Wikipedia helped me graduate. Can't lie. So this is what Wikipedia says about dating. While the term has several meanings, the most frequent usage refers to two people exploring whether they are romantically compatible by participating in dates with the other. With the use of modern technology, people can date via telephone or computer or meet in person. So there you have it. You don't even have to actually see the person. You just date the person on the computer. How is that real? But it's sad that is really sometimes what it looks like 15 apps on your phone all about connecting with other people. It's really based on superficial, because you don't know someone until you interact with them, see how they engage in community with other people. But that really is sad. That just goes to show you that dating is really whatever you want to make it to be. You can just call the person. You don't have to actually see them. You can just Snapchat them. I heard the other day a sixth grader told me they broke up with their girlfriend over Snapchat. Was like, what? That is not okay. First off, you shouldn't be dating in sixth grade. But that's just so wild to see that technology blurs the view of what even dating is. So you see clearly it's very, very, very superficial to date in a way of just screen time or anything like that. It's dangerous. But why we date, I want to talk about why we date and talk about dating with a purpose, because it's very important. But I think many of us date because we just love the attention from the opposite sex. We love attention, knowing that someone is attracted to us. that thrills us. We thrive off that, thinking like, wow, how many people think I'm attractive? Because we feel lonely, therefore think dating will kind of magically fill that void. Because once again, we're created to be in relationships, so it's not bad to desire a relationship, but when those relationships become the main focus and distract your view of God, then it's unhealthy. So it's so proper to understand if God brings you to that. I'm not encouraging dating whatsoever. This is just to prepare if dating is something that is in your journey in life, to equip you in that. So yeah, we fill that void because of loneliness. But I want to say this, the purpose in dating is to prepare you for marriage. If you don't hear anything about talking about dating today, relationship flings or anything like that, the purpose in dating is to prepare you for marriage. It is so pointless to get into a relationship with no goal in the end. And I know that sounds so cray-cray, like what? I just worry about the now, this person looks good, I just want to date them. But that is fleeting, and you are building up bondage of brokenness upon brokenness. Really. You are living in a lifestyle that will just constantly bury just more brokenness. And I want to share this awesome quote I heard by Jefferson Bethke. It says, dating with no intent to marry is like going to the grocery store with no money. You either leave unhappy or take something that isn't yours. That's good. And I'll tell you, I was out for Black Friday, and I went out with zero money. And I left unhappy. I was like, I want this. I'll take 5 of those, 6 of those. I want those shoes. I wanted it all, and I went out with no money. And then it's just like, what do I gain from that? And just to put that in the light of dating is if you get into a relationship with no intent to actually marry this person, you're going to leave unhappy or take something that isn't yours as well. And what I mean by that is we don't treat that person like they're made in the image of God, that man or that woman. So to date with a purpose, to have purpose in mind, not just casually, because relationships are about holiness, not happiness. Proverbs 27 talks about sharpening. Iron sharpens iron. So relationships are to grow you and equip you. They're not just to take. What can you give me? And if you can't give me anything else, if you don't make me cool or popular, I'm out. And even in a dating relationship, like, if you no longer satisfy my needs, then we're done. Relationships are about holiness, growing you. True love will never, ever force you to do something ungodly. That is a powerful truth my mentor told me in high school. True love will never force you to do something ungodly. It never will. Because you hear all the time, if you love me, you'll do this. Or we're going to get married. That is all fleeting. Those are just words that have no actual foundational truth to that. So iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27 talks about that. And once again, the goal, to just kind of speak it out again, the goal in dating is a godly man pursuing a godly woman in friendship with the hope that that leads to marriage. Marriage is never guaranteed. It's a godly man pursuing a godly woman into a friendship with the hope that that leads to marriage. And I want to talk to my ladies real quick, because this is huge. Just a little nugget of wisdom. If you are talking with a guy, hanging out 5 hours on the phone, FaceTime, all of that, he likes all of your Instagram, and you just don't know what is up. You're just like, I kind of like him, I don't know. When I get with my girls, we talk about him. I think we're getting married. And he has no idea. He just thinks like, oh, you're cool, you're cute, so I'll just talk to you. If he does not define the relationship, you need to bounce. Because if he's not leading you now, and he's not clear on where he stands, he's playing with your emotions, you're insecure because you're thinking he's talking to 7 other guys. 7 other girls, sorry. 7 other guys. That's the next message. That's Tim's message. If he's talking to all these people, I'm so sorry, bring it back in. If he is talking to all of these different people and doesn't lay down just like where he stands in that, it's just blurry. Emotions get mixed up and everything just gets confused in that. And chances are he'll never lead you if he can't be very clear, like on the first, like I took you out to coffee, like this is what I mean by that. Like I want to pursue you in a friendship with the hope that that leads to marriage. Now, maybe easy pump the brakes, don't come off that, like, oh, I want to marry you off the front. Nothing of that. What I'm saying is he has to be very clear on what his intentions are. What his intentions are. And guys, I want to say this to the fellas in the room. If a girl is dressing in a way that's very revealing, chances are she is extremely desperate for attention. And she is going to place standards on you that only God can meet. Because she has needs and insecurities, and she is trying to get attention and to fill that void by just dressing in a way that's very, very revealing. And there's no way a woman of God would walk out in such a way. Because as women, we are to dress as if we are going to hang out with Jesus, his very self. Really, how we dress women matters, because a man's mind, it is a battlefield. So to love our brothers well is to dress in a way that we are loving God and loving others around us. Because I want to say this, beauty is fleeting. Proverbs 31 talks about that. Proverbs 31 verse 30 talks about how beauty is completely fleeting. Because I have yet to hear anyone say, you see that 80-year-old over there? Looking real good. No one is attracted, like I've yet to hear anybody say that. I think character and time is a beautiful thing. But I'm just saying, like in our culture, you don't hear the average person just saying, like someone really old comes in like, wow, they look really good. Really good. No, it's crazy. It's crazy to even say that. So that just goes to show you, beauty is fleeting. It is not something that continues to last, except James's muscles. That's always there. Just kidding. But while we talk about dating, I also want to talk about being single and the power behind that, because singleness is a sweet gift, and our culture really does a terrible job of making you feel like if you're single or if you're called to singleness, then you must not be attractive, or something's wrong with you, or what's wrong with my personality, or anything like that. Does God not want to provide for me in that way, or anything? But singleness is such a sweet, sweet gift that I want to talk about for a moment too. Because many people desire a relationship, which isn't bad. It's not bad to desire things because it's in our DNA. But also to understand there is sweet power when you see someone who is deeply attracted to Jesus and just doesn't have time to look left or right for little relationship flings. They are so fixated on the person of Jesus. And Paul speaks into this, but I want to share a quote just real fast, a simple word. It says, you do not reach success by becoming married. You reach success by becoming more like Jesus. Because our culture tells you, man, you really arrive once you get engaged, or you get married, or you're that mom, or you're that dad. But that's what the culture says. God's word says something completely different that is so profound and powerful. I'm going to read it from 1 Corinthians 7, verse 32 through 35. Because we don't start our lives once we get married. You can live a vibrant life for Christ 100% as a single man or woman, completely devoted to God. So I'm going to read this. It's in 1 Corinthians 7, verse 32 through 35. It says this, I would like you to be free from concern. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he can please the Lord. But a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife, and his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord in both body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I'm saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in a right way, in undivided devotion to the Lord. So Paul speaks with this passion of basically saying, man, it's better to not even think and look towards marriage or relationships because there's less focus. As a single woman, you don't have to ask your husband, like, hey, can I go to the coffee shop and meet with like 10 girls and or invite them into your home. Not to say one is better than the other, that singleness is better than marriage or marriage is better than singleness. But to bring light to singleness is a beautiful, powerful, powerful lifestyle. And I think many people would come to know Jesus in such great ways when they look at someone's life and say, they're so satisfied in God, they don't even think about relationships. That'll preach right there. If I look, that is the most profound thing for me to see. My mentor back at Liberty, she fully believes that she's called to be a single woman. And God can change that, she says, in his timing. But she has been more effective for the kingdom, being wholeheartedly just devoted to her mission. Because marriage changes things. It does. You have more demands and different things, but God can still use marriage in incredible ways, and I've seen that in just a year of being married. But I remember when I was single, I constantly was longing to be married until I came to this place, and I just was so frustrated with the struggle. And I told the Lord, like, if you bring a man, I will praise you, and if you don't, I will praise you. You are still good. And it's in that I really grew to be so deeply content in God. And it was the best seasons of my life, because if I didn't have that time of growing in singleness, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the marriage that I'm in now, because I'd have put demands on James because I wasn't in the process allowing God to really shape and build my faith. I was trying to rush things, and I didn't trust the process. So don't lower your standards, prolong your waiting. Don't lower your standards, but prolong your patience. Because sometimes through time, you can think, well, I just want to be with someone at this point, so I'll just lower my convictions or lower my standards to just be with someone. But there is power in a woman or a man who's so fixated on Jesus. You have to know God more simply to understand their lifestyle, that people have to go to God to better know you. That is powerful. So I want to end with just talking about love, that word that we throw around so casually. In the English, love just means love, and that's all we know of it. But it's very, very important to ask someone and to know for yourself, like, what do you even mean when you say I love you to someone? And in Greek, there's 4 different words that help us understand how we explain love. And it's from C.S. Lewis, The 4 Loves. He has a book. And each of these loves mean different things. So storge, eros, philo, and agape. And storge means affectionate love. It's appealing to the eye. I love you like I love ice cream. So sometimes you can meet someone, or you can say, oh, I love this movie, and I love my husband, or I love my dog. And it's like, what does that even mean? It's so inconsistent. It means a million different things. I love love. I love the idea of love. Like, what are you trying to say? So it's good to understand, to break down what you're meaning or what someone's meaning to you. Next one is eros, is romantic love, and this one's really saved for marriage. It's reckless love. So anyone who says, I believe at love at first sight, really what you could be saying is, I lust you rather than I love you. So it's good to communicate, because it can be confusing. People throw around that word, and they have no understanding of how to use it properly. Next one is philo, and this is friendship love. It's basically like, man, did we just become best friends? You meet at a coffee shop with someone, and then you're like, wow, we have so much in common. I appreciate you so much. And it's like, oh, I love you. It's like, we just met. I know, but I love you. It's a friendship love. It's a powerful love too. And all of these words are used in the Bible. Eros is used in Song of Solomon, but storge and philo are used in the New Testament. And the last one is agape. And this is the most profound, powerful love. And this is the one that is most divine overall. And it's the love that was shown through the death and resurrection of Jesus. And this love has to be in proper order, or all of it will just be drifted by emotions and different things that don't make sense. Agape love has to be the foundation of your life, because if this relationship is right, other relationships will be in place to have a proper view. So agape love is like the 1 Corinthians 13 love. Love is patient, love is kind, if y'all have heard that before. And it's more than emotions, it's the highest, it's unconditional. All the other loves are conditioned. Basically, if you do this or do that, then I'll love you. Or I love you if you make me happy. Other loves are like that, but agape love is unconditional. It gives everything and asks nothing in return. And it's not natural, too. It's a choice you have to make in that. True, lasting love is a choice. It's not an emotion that is tossed by the wind. It's foundational, and it's through the person of Jesus that we can see that. Because John 15:13, it says, greater love, which agape, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friend. And that is the very life that Jesus lived to show us what real love is. So with the question, love at first sight, just to bring that up again, because I believe many of y'all here actually believe that, because y'all said yes on Instagram, so I know some of y'all are lying. But whenever you see someone for the first time, you're extremely attracted to them, to know, I highly doubt that you're looking at them and saying, I would lay down my life for that when someone walks through the door. Like a really pretty girl or a really good-looking guy, and you just, man, I will sacrifice everything for that. That character, that's just, no, it's usually eros, philo. It's a different kind of love. It's not a lasting love. It's fleeting. It's emotion. It's not real lasting love. Because agape love forgets self. It's so fixated on serving. It asks nothing in return. Because real love is sacrifice. Real lasting love is sacrifice. So in conclusion, to understand real love is to look at God and see how he crushed his son completely to bring us to him in relationship, and how that is eternal love, and that there's no better love than that. So I just want to leave with some encouraging thoughts, talking about dating, singleness, and love. Because above all, chase after Jesus. And if, like I said, if someone wants to be with you and to pursue you, they have to literally run at the same pace that you're running, to where you're so focused on the race and running after Jesus that you don't have to look back and try to pull them with you. Because if they try to find Jesus through you, that is a very unhealthy relationship. That person has to be fully dependent on Jesus, because many people in that will say, well, I'm working on them. We don't save anybody. Trust me, I said that all the time in high school. He's a Christian, but he's not a godly man. Two huge difference. Same for women. She can be a Christian, but not a godly woman. And what I mean by that is just because someone says, God bless you after a sneeze, does not mean that they have been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. A real follower of Jesus gets that relationships are for marriage, dating relationships. So just the flirting thing on the side, like, a woman of God don't have time for that. A man of God doesn't have time for that. He's running this mission for Jesus, and that's the most attractive thing. Because understand, you have to be completely satisfied in Jesus alone before you get into any kind of relationship, because you will try to find life through that person, and that will bring you brokenness. So run your race for Jesus. And I want to end with this verse in Philippians 4, verse 11 through 12. Based on contentment, this is such a sweet, sweet verse. A friend of mine showed me this verse the other day in my small group, and I was reflecting on it, just thinking about dating and how contentment is such a precious thing. Once again, it's not bad to desire relationships because we are wired that way, but whenever you come to this place where you are so content in God that nothing else matters, that is such a great place to be in. And I want to read where Paul says this in Philippians 4, verse 11 through 12. It says, I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content. Whatever the circumstances, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living plenty or in want. So this secret to life is, Paul's basically saying, I know what it's like to have a lot in life, and I know what it's like to have very little, but I have found this secret in this beautiful place. It is, if I have a lot, or if I am in a relationship, or if I'm not, what matters most is if I'm growing and becoming more and more like Jesus. So strive after contentment. Get to know God. Mature in your faith. Mature in your faith, and if God does want to bring someone into your life, into a relationship, it will come in a time of his timing. Treasure doesn't do the hunting, and as Christians, Christian guys and girls, you are treasure in Jesus. Treasure shouldn't have to go looking for that. That is the most unattractive thing. Something that is so valuable and such a gem is someone who's deeply obsessed with the person of Jesus and recklessly just following him. And what I mean by that is delighting in him. So contentment is something I encourage, and I'm going to be praying as we've talked tonight, praying over each of y'all, is that you reflect on this verse, that if I have a relationship, if I don't, what matters most is Jesus and knowing him. So let me pray for us, and then we'll has some exciting things to follow after that. Father, thank you for your word and how you use sinners like me simply to proclaim your truth. Lord, I pray over these students. I pray contentment in you and you alone. Also knowing in 1 Timothy how it talks about we brought nothing into this world and we can leave with nothing. Marriages pass away, relationships are pass away, but what remains is what we do for your kingdom, Lord. So I pray that these students would see being single is such a sweet place that their soul shall not want. God, that you'd mature them and grow them and prepare them for conversations after this, Lord, in the way to grow how you have us to, Lord. Thank you so much for each of these students, Lord, and I just pray for the rest of the night that it'd be honoring and glorifying to you. It's in your holy name, amen.